Well, it's the aftermath of Kaizer Chiefs' first defeat of the season. Babina Noko maintaining or returning to the top, 2 points clear, and the Chiefs conceding for the first time 3 goals that they conceded. But it is the manner in which they lost that we will have to talk about. And joining me is Kgothatso, one of the respected journalists who's been following Chiefs, especially in how they've started this season. Kg, when you look at how Chiefs has started and you see them conceding 3 goals here today, how do you look back at this loss?
Yeah, this loss, I think it comes as a shock to the fans. I think even the team, the momentum that the team has built, even the coaches as well, they felt that they riding on this wave of making sure that they can continue with that momentum. But I think the international break was something that destabilized them as well, because of that. Takes away that momentum that you know that you've already built. Like to say that you've already played 5 games in the league, you've not conceded any goals, you're winning, you're playing beautiful football. But then you also can come and play a team as well that's also fighting very hard. Like Sekhukhune, as much as they didn't do well in the MTN 8, but you could see that the players are there, that the formation is there, how they're going to play, the type of players that they've got, the experience as well, all came together in such a game like today.
One of the things that Coach Eric Tinkler spoke about here was how they managed to make sure that they exposed the Chiefs' high line. And if you check the time when Miguel got that yellow card, it was for the second time that he had to hold Mncube there, which tells you that Coach Eric Tinkler had a plan. If you look at how they scored the first goal, how they scored the last goal, and also how they were putting pressure, especially on stretching the centre-backs.
I think that's very valid. I mean, we saw today how key a player like Bradley Kgothatso is as well, being able to make sure that whether he's up front receiving the ball or whether he's even just playing slightly back, to make sure that when the ball comes to him, he flicks it on and the players could use their pace. Chiefs defense today with the high line, it didn't work for them. They were not able to contain speed, and we know that their defense is actually quite slow. I was actually shocked to see twice when the ball went over Miguel, he was not able to catch up to the ball and secure it. But the player was able to just come and run right in front of him and make sure that they used that space and to be able to use different tactics. I loved how the game would change as well. If the ball's not going straight over, they're making sure that they're using the wings as well to make sure that they utilize all the space and stretch them. As you said, stretch them to open them so that they can then penetrate through that. So that was also something different which we saw today. And you could see that even the coach would try and make his subs, but the subs and the formation that perhaps his tactics for the day were just not the correct ones to make sure that they win the game today.
Yeah, because for me, it was also about the subs because they didn't really have an impact. And also, it was always going to be difficult because this Sekhukhune team was also very good with set play aerially as well. And Chiefs trying to also play interpassing, very ineffective with the final ball.
Yeah, true. I think for players perhaps Sereno, for example, it was not his day today. Pulewe Mogi as well was not his day today. And when you have your key players, even in the midfield as well, Ox as well, he had he was also, you could see that he was in the battle, busy fighting. But he's the only one that I would see fighting in the middle of the park to make sure that he tries to fight for the team. But not all the players were there today to make sure that they've got that momentum to say that they can continue what they were doing before the international break as well. So therefore, it was just a case of that Kaizer Chiefs today. I think that they just need to make sure that the tactics, if you're going to come and play a high line, make sure that the team that you're playing against, that they aren't able to utilize the speed. They aren't able to counter you as well and turn the defense and make them face their own goal as well. And also, I think that conceding, it was nice to see them score exactly after 7 minutes that they conceded. They came back and I was that's what you want to see from the Kaizer Chiefs. But I think in the second half as well, you could just see how Tinkler was able to mobilize his boys to say that, guys, let's make sure that if this is not working, here's plan B. Make sure that we switch in between the two tactics to make sure that if we don't turn them, we make sure that we press them right through the middle to make sure that they're always under pressure.
But let's talk about this Sekhukhune team, the tactical brilliance from their side as well, and how they you can say at times they play percentage football, but it works for them because they use their moments well.
I think that was very key. It's not always a case of always pressing a team and like making sure that you keep them on the back foot, but allow them to have that confidence to think that they can come and press you as well. And that was their plan like today. They were able to say that, no, if you've got the ball, like come to us. If we've like got the ball, we'll play slowly. We'll knock it at the back like with the keeper so that it can seem that they can just come and make something of like nothing. But today, Sekhukhune like made sure that from the plans that they have, they knew that when the ball is from the keeper, play it from the center, like go out to the wings as well, then throw it in or play it through like the middle as well, and allow like players like Kobler. I mean, we always like talk that he's getting old, he's becoming of age, but yet you could see that class is also like something that he has got as well. And he's able to make sure that he impacts the game, if not with his boots or his head still, because of that you saw all 100%. The aerial duels as well. Yes. Anything in the air, he made sure that he wins that. And he made sure that he distributes to his players as well. And that's something that made the difference like today as well.
Mm-hmm. And still talking about this tactical brilliance, there's something that I saw them doing, especially in the first half. They were targeting more Marco's side in terms of making sure that they win the aerial ball and also making sure that once they win that aerial ball, they are also there in numbers for the second ball.
That's true. That's true. I think, and you can see that at times when players, perhaps they've not been playing a lot like together, that the communication with the Kaizer Chiefs players was not really there like today as well. I think maybe with some of the injuries that they face or the players not being in the team as well, Monyane. That combination, like Monyane was not there as well. That showed that the defense perhaps is not as strong as they would love to be, and that's been their key for the past like 5 games as well. That they made sure that at the back they are like solid as well. But to also come and concede 3 goals as well, it shows you that they've still got a lot of work to do, that they still have a lot to make sure that they get right as well, and perhaps also play players to the best of their ability of the game as well. Don't just trust your ability, but plan like for teams. Because of that, we saw that like today as well, that Kaizer Chiefs, their plans weren't really what.
Do you think Coach Nabi has got the time?
They've had over a week of no like football.
I mean the time to turn things around.
Time. They've signed 11 players, and I think that it would be premature to try and like say that he's under pressure at this point in time because of one game lost. I believe so. I believe so that he's still got a few more grace, but I believe that if he's to lose another 2 games within this next period of this month, that's going to put him under serious pressure as well. Because of that, as you saw as well, I mean, for the large part of August, he was not around. The team was like performing. And now he's back, and now it's almost like as if when he comes back,
they will count.
He comes to come change.
A draw, 1-0 win, a loss. You know how fans count these things.
True. But another thing that we're not like looking into as well, Kaizer Chiefs still have a scoring like problem. I don't think that they've got a striker who they can depend on to say that, give us the goals. You check the previous games, they've all scored one the whole time. Then you come today and you're playing like a team as well that you know that is able to, has been scoring many goals as well. Yes. A well-oiled team as well. You come play like against.
Because if you look at their goal difference, there's Sekhukhune, I mean, the difference in terms of goals scored before this game between them and Sundowns was just 1 goal. And they've just gone 2 better now.
Yes. And that shows you as well that they are scoring at least about, it looks like they're scoring about like 2 goals every game, like minimum. And that shows you that they've got a team that's able to make sure that if the defense is like solid, then they know that the offensive players are then able as well to make sure that they keep the opponents on the back foot. You know, like conceding goals as well makes a team then worry that, okay, as a midfielder, I must go help my defense. But now then, if that's going on, it puts the team under pressure as well. So scoring goals, that's what happens. It puts any team under pressure, and Sekhukhune is just able to keep on doing that.
Lastly, let's talk about the injury to Monyane. What does this do to Chiefs? Because it does look like he could be out for 3, possibly 4 weeks. And I'm not sure, maybe he'll also be out of the next Bafana matches.
He didn't do badly, but I think that it was not also his best game as well. I think that he's one of like those players that you can see that with perhaps more match time, like Froster is going to get better. He will improve. But the nice thing about like Kaizer Chiefs, where they are now, they've got depth. They've got 40 players in their team. We heard from yesterday as well, the press conference, the coach was saying that they have to offload some players to be fair to them as well. Monyane is a big loss for them, and to be able to adjust to that as well is going to then compromise them as well. But perhaps it's an advantage that they're not playing any local game soon as well. Or they're going...
No, there's no advantage because they want to do well in the CAF Confed, and they are playing against a team that is also physically strong in Kapuskop.
But as I say, the advantage is that they've got the players. I think you've looked at the signings that they've made. I think the coach is going to refine his tactics. Perhaps not to be as predictable as he has been the past 5-6 games.
So he's predictable?
He's been predictable.
Okay.
The tactics for all the games have been predictable. But now... Sorry?
No pace.
There's no pace at all. You can see that, that defense is struggling. So you can't be playing a high line when you know that you've got a defense that can't chase back and secure the ball.
And you had a centre-back who at least had this pace and had been doing well before this in Kunika.
Yes.
And you make these changes.
Yes.
And then I was like, what happened to if it's in broken, why fix it?
And it's the same thing that at times that we cry as journalists that you've signed so many players and yet you are changing. Perhaps he was experimenting, but I wouldn't experiment in such a team as well. I'll go for my...
In the top of the table clash, you experiment.
We can never get into the mind of the coach and try to understand what he's doing as well. But I think that it's just a case of perhaps the coach now can see that they need to refine their tactics more. They need to make sure that they analyze their opponents a lot more as well. His technical team really needs to help him so that they understand that you put players who are best fitted for the strategy that you want. And you make sure that if you're going to play a high line, have a keeper as well who's able to go out of his box as well to make sure that he clears the box. Because that you saw that Brandon today as well, he was in his box the whole time. The first goal as well, it was pretty obvious that the ball was going to be then rolled into. Had he moved forward, he would have secured that. But it's just a case of he's a keeper who's comfortable playing where he is, and perhaps they need to then look into the versatility of the keeper as well, that at times he needs to sweep, he needs to run up, and also then find better ways of improving his game.
Well, thanks so much, KG. The very interesting one. It was a top of the table clash, and there had to be this kind of a review into it because maybe there could be more going forward, especially with the team off to Angola on Thursday as they start their campaign in the CAF Confed Cup. That's it from FNB Stadium. Azishege.